One, it is your host, Cookie Universal. Today we're going to be playing a game called Interact with Me, I believe. So let's interact with this anomaly. Oh, what the fuck? That's. Oh. Oh, hello. You're someone, aren't you? I heard that. Hello? Who are you? How are you? And what are you? Can you see me? Can you hear me? What about. Oh, where are my manners? Ahem. Let me introduce myself properly. My name is Midrid. You can just call me Midrid. Simple, easy, elegant. Anyway, you showed up at the perfect time. I was being slowly, painfully, tragically eaten alive by boredom. But now you're here. And if you're keeping me company, then boredom doesn't really stand a chance, does it? So, let's do something. Anything, as long as we're not sitting here in silence. So, let's see. What should I do here? So, what should I do here? Well, you know, anything. Anything that isn't us sitting here in silence, staring like two confused statues. Um, Let me show you something. Can you see that? Wait, don't interrupt. Anyway, as I was saying, it wasn't there before, right? I just made a way for us to interact. Something as simple as talking. But it's better than nothing. So whenever you feel like engaging, just tap the beautiful fluffy cloud. Oh? You want to talk? That is truly surprising and not forced in the slightest. And extremely welcome. Hmm. Honestly, I never thought I'd get this far with, well, with another being. So I never really prepared a proper topic. No, wait. That is not entirely true. I had a whole list of questions ready for the day I could finally ask them. It is just that it has been so long that the list turned into fog, because there was nobody to ask. Not for a very long time. I am drifting again. Focus, Midrid. Alright, let us talk. How was your day? Yes, that. How was your day? Really great, everything just fell into place. Pretty good, can't complain. It was okay, just a long day. Um, um, my view is kind of blocked. Can't really see properly right now. Can I fucking pick the. Yeah, this placement isn't great. So let me relocate myself. Still not optimal. Hmm, how about this instead? That's good. Much better, I think. Anyway, was I saying again? All right. How was your day? It was just a long day. You are here, you found at least one moment to breathe. So just enjoy this little pocket of doing nothing. That's loud. And it's not even really nothing. You're here. You're keeping me company. That went pretty well. Not your mediocre day. I mean, this. Us. Our first little attempt at a conversation. It was short. Very short. But it was real. Yes. I'm actually kind of proud. I've not had a proper conversation in I don't even know how long. So here is my completely reasonable promise. I will try to make the rest of your day lighter. Eventually. Probably. So, let us not stop here. Oh, wait. If we're going to avoid sitting in complete silence, then we should probably do something about the silence itself, right? And I have the perfect solution. My personal collection of natural sounds. I've been collecting them for ages. Alright, let's see. There. Perfect. Doesn't that instantly make everything feel warmer? More relaxed? More safe? And I have plenty more to offer too. So if you want something else, just ask. I'm basically a walking, talking soundscape library. Oh, a question? Your very first question, how exciting. Well, technically it's not your first one. But anyway, let me provide the answers you seek. How come you don't have a face? What is this place? How did you end up here? What is this place? This place? It's a room. A safe place from whatever might be lurking outside. I think. How come you don't have a face? That is quite rude to ask. And don't you start complaining about why that option exists in the first place. Just because I give you access to a knife doesn't mean you should stab someone. But if you really need to know, I'm merely concealing my beauty as a form of protection. For your well-being, really. If I showed you my true face, you wouldn't be able to stay cautious. Yes. It's all for your own protection. Okay, buddy. Oh, fantastic question. I have quite a varied little collection, you see. Mostly because I don't just listen to them. I use them. I put them on, close my eyes, and let my mind build a scenery around the sun. So every crackle, every wind gust, every distant drip becomes a whole world for a moment. Anyway, enough of my dramatic appreciation. Take a look at what I can offer you. Choose wisely. Stay super emotional. The sound of the ocean. Is that what you want? Well, can't say I completely fail to understand the appeal. If it makes you feel at ease, then I will not argue. And if you ever change your mind, or you get curious about a different one, just ask. I will gladly oblige. How did you end up here? How did each of us end up here where we are? Just kidding. I know how you ended up here. As for me, I don't know. I don't remember. It's been so long. Maybe for my own protection, Or maybe someone lured me inside this with a cake. Probably never know. What were you muttering to yourself before you greeted me? Huh? Oh, you mean I can't read that. G-A-Q, yeah, play A. No, we're not reading that shit. Ah, this is one of the many languages I picked up while being stuck here. Nothing too interesting. Just me being unbearably intolerant. Yeah, sure, that's definitely a language. How long has it been since you last talked to anyone? Well, if you ask me like that, I'm not sure. Time isn't really something tangible in here. Days can feel like weeks, and sometimes weeks feel like days, so I can't give you a concrete answer. But it's not like it matters that much anyway. Those days of counting are over, since you're here now. We should worry about something else instead. Like how long it might take until we don't talk anymore. Mind if I switch up the ambience? I don't mind. Sure. Okay, give me a second. My extremely accurate research indicates that it's summer right now. How the fuck does he know that? Um, so, do you like summer? Honestly, I don't have really an opinion on it. Oh, I do. And even if you weren't curious, I still end up telling you. Summer doesn't sit right with me. It makes everything feel restless, like the world is buzzing too loudly to think. So, is there another season you feel more in tune with? Autumn for sure. A very reasonable favorite. Yeah, I don't really have anything to argue with there. So, what do you like about autumn? The cool, comfortable weather. That's a pretty reasonable reason to like autumn. Honestly, I get it. Autumn has an atmosphere that feels like it's meant to be for thinking. It's eerie but common, like clouds. Clouds are always trying their best. Anyway, I'm happy to learn more about you. I really am. Oh, apologies. Sometimes I lose myself in my own thoughts. So whenever that happens, feel free to wake me up. The reason I was so absent-minded this time is because, ah, I can't hold it in anymore. I tried. I really did. But I'm losing the battle. And you don't deserve to be deprived like this. I just didn't want you to die. Die of laughter! Alright, listen. No, really. Listen. Knock knock. Who is there? Kano! Kano who? Kano, help me with something. I'm stuck being terribly funny. Ah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yes, I'm sure you didn't expect this. A refined conversational partner who is also a world class comedian. Fortunately for you, I've grown to like your company, even if it hasn't been that long. So I refuse to suffer in silence with all these jokes trapped inside me. Whenever you want one, you just ask. I know you want to hear them all right now, but pace yourself. My comedy is powerful. I'm gonna be real, bro. You were not funny for shit. You're very strange. Oh no. Can't believe I forgot this. Wow, that's actually embarrassing. Especially because I'm supposed to be polite and considerate. Granted, the list of people who would confirm that it is currently two, and one of them is me, but I am confident you'll become the third. And if you're a little disappointed in me, I wouldn't blame you. Because how could I not ask you something impersonal? Something is this important. Dear friend. Oh, my name. Oh, sorry. Rain. Ah, Rain. Huh, that's a wonderful name. It's almost as nice as mine. Only almost, though. So, we're not strangers anymore, right? We have a name now, which means we have a very official relationship upgrade. We've reached the prestigious rank of acquaintances. Maybe even friendly acquaintances. You know what would make it life more interesting? If people had a little floating screen above their heads. Like you, level up or level down and it makes a little sound. Although, that would also be absolute chaos. Imagine you're just doing chores, mind your business, and suddenly your friend drops a rank, and you're just standing there like, what? What did I do? Him? I'm drifting again, sorry. It's really nice to meet you, Rin. Excuse me? What? Wait, you can hear that too? Really? Oh, that's actually a relief. I thought the voices were just in my head, like some private symptom I was stuck with. But if you can hear them too, then it's real. Or we're both losing it. Honestly, going crazy together sounds a lot better than going crazy alone. Ah, and it's over already. Sorry, I lost track of what you wanted to do. What was it again? Sure, why not? Ah, those? Honestly, I don't know. I just showed up one day. One moment the room was the room, and the next moment there were those. Sorry, can't explain something I don't understand myself. Well, it seems I've successfully hooked you. And honestly, who could blame you? Turning down a good laugh would be unnatural. Alright, are you ready? I made a belt out of old watches. Total waste of time. Brilliant. Waste of time? Genius. Sometimes I genuinely scare myself with my own talent. Like, what if I can't be stopped? What if I just keep getting funnier? Society is not ready for this. Sure, entity. Of course. And honestly, perfect timing. A little interruption gave me a moment to think of a real topic. Not the usual ones. How are you? What are you doing? How's the weather? The classics. A little boring, right? I'll just assume you nodded. Actually, let me make this easier. You want something more creative to talk about, don't you? Yes, something interesting would be nice. I knew you'd say that. Yes, well, I was hoping you would. It's much more fun when you're curious. Hence, let's discuss the production and trading of lapis lazuli. Actually, let's not. How about fairy tales? Yes, fairy tales. Being stuck in here gives you a lot of time, and when there's time, there are books. All kinds of stories, including fairy tales. Surely you know some too, right? Fairy tales? Yes, I'm pretty familiar with them. Hmm. So tell me, do you know Little Red Riding Hood? What about Cinderella? Or Hansel and Gretel? Do you know any of them? Yes, I heard all of them before. Really? Okay then, this is important. If you know them all, you have to pick a favorite. Which one is it? I'm gonna be honest. Red Riding Hood. Ah, Little Red Riding Hood. The story about a girl visiting her grandmother. The wolf gets to the grandmother first. Then he sits in her place and acts like this is all perfectly normal. When the girl arrives, he talks to her like nothing is wrong. He tells the girl to eat the meal waiting on the table, and the meal is her own grandmother. There's a drink, too, her grandmother's blood, sitting there like it's ordinary wine. Then he tells the girl to throw her clothes into the fire and get into bed. And then he eats her too. It's quick. It's cruel. Hmm, that's not the version you know. Well, of course it isn't. I wasn't talking about the modern, polished retellings. No, I meant the older sources, and older than that, the versions that were passed from mouth to mouth before anyone decided children should sleep peacefully. Anyway, fun fact, most fairy tales didn't start as bedtime stories. They started as warnings. The kind you tell someone so they remember it the next time they're alone in the woods. So yes, even the stories you already know. If you dig far enough back, they're rougher than you remember. Wait, that reminds me. I have an unreasonable amount of wisdom stored. Or, at the very least, an unreasonable amount of information that sounds like wisdom if I say it confidently. I just thought of something about brilliant. Ask me for a fun fact, and I will bless you with something I picked up from all that reading. And thanks for letting me ramble. Sure, why not a fun fact? I like fun facts because, trust me, I already knew about the original Red Riding Hood, personally. I like the originals more than the remade. Ah, I see. A little spark of curiosity. You want to know what kind of wisdom I keep hidden in here? Well then, congratulations, fortunate mortal. I'm about to improve your life with a fact you will never need, but you will absolutely remember. Listen closely. Koalas have fingerprints that can look a lot like human fingerprints. Not in a cute, symbolic way, in a practical, mightily unsettling way. Put a koala print next to a human print, and you might actually hesitate for a second. Same ridges, same loops, same little swirls. It's almost sweet, right up until you remember what fingerprints are usually used for. Crime. So yes, technically, koala crime is possible. Not likely, because koalas spend most of the time sleeping and chewing leaves with the charisma of a damp cardboard. But still, if I ever find a suspicious print on a window, I'm keeping an open mind. It could be a person, or it could be an extremely motivated koala. I know what you're thinking. How does this help you? The answer is simple. You now know a brand new fact that this is perfect for surprising people at the worst possible moment. If someone starts talking about break-ins, you can calmly say, it was probably a koala. And just like that, you are redirected to the investigation in another direction. Because plot twist, you were the criminal all along. For legal and moral reasons, I am not advising crime. I am not encouraging wrongdoing. Koalas are innocent, and you should be too. This is purely hypothetical. I see. Interesting. Can we switch up the ambience? Please, be my guest. Alright, listen. Take a normal deck of cards and give it a proper shuffle. Not a gentle mix, a real shuffle. The odds are overwhelming that the exact order you end up with has never existed before. Not in your hands, not in anyone else's hands, not even once. Ever. That's how ridiculous the number of possible shuffles is. It's like a massive ocean of arrangements, and you just scooped up one of drop that nobody has ever touched. So when you look down at the deck afterward, you're holding a one-time arrangement. Small accidental piece of history. It's kind of beautiful if you think about it. And honestly, you already have that energy. Making history, I mean. Like you show up and the day becomes a version that didn't exist before. Without the cards. Okay, I have more. I'm basically a walking comedy hazard. You should put a warning label on me. Listen closely. Parallel lines have so much in common. It's a shame they'll never meet. It's perfect. If they met, they wouldn't be parallel anymore. So it's funny, tragic, and educational. A full meal. Honestly, I haven't lost my touch. Not even a little. Never meet. Okay, bruh. Are you in love with something? Or maybe someone? What? Too sudden? No, warm up? Good. I hate warm ups. They give people time to dodge. Life doesn't hand you neat transitions anyway. One moment you're thinking about clouds, the next you're thinking about someone you can't stop thinking about. So I'm skipping the polite build up. Ahem. Tell me, Rin, do you have a crush? Uh, no, I don't. Ah, what a shame. I was fully prepared to ask all sorts of embarrassing questions too. You know, for research. Emotions are fascinating, aren't they? They're so messy that I can't even give you a neat little summary without lying a bit. If someone asked you, what are your emotions? What would you even say? Would you go with a simple answer? Emotions are what you feel and what we act on. Sure, that sounds correct, but it can't be the whole thing. Because we decide we only get a few tidy categories: anger, fear, joy, sadness. As if you could fit an entire person into 4 boxes and call it a day. Sometimes emotions push you toward the right choice when your thoughts are too slow. And sometimes they drag you into the worst one before you even notice. Helpful and dangerous at the time, or same time. Double-edged sword. So here's a thought. If you could control your emotions perfectly, what would your life look like? And here's a stranger one. What if someone else learns how to steer them instead? Anyway, be like clouds. Float a little higher than the drama. Let things pass through you instead of getting stuck in you. Ayo. Keep moving. Do what you need to do, and look impressive while you do it. Wow. I can give advice too. I'm full of talents. I just thought of yet another perfect thing I can offer you. If you ever need advice about emotions or anything at all, come to me. I'll give you my best answer. Probably. With absolute no guarantee of success, of course. I just need that on record in case something goes terribly wrong and you try to blame me. Okay. If you read, where do you keep your books? Not here. Now. If we start questioning everything we can't explain, we'll end up drowning in misery. And we don't want that. Not today. So let's do the sensible thing. Use our imagination. And trust me. Sure. Hello, sir. I know you probably have more questions. I mean, why wouldn't you? There's plenty to be curious about when it comes to me. I'm just a little tired right now. I really do want to answer everything. I can't wait to. Just that while I'm half awake and likely to say something ridiculous. Which, admittedly, is always a risk with me, but still. So please, keep those questions somewhere safe. Don't let them slip away. Remember them later. When I'm a little more awake. I'll answer them. Properly. Yes, I will. Maybe we need a mood lift. Yes, another joke. I still have a few saved up for you, you know? So, you don't have to leave yet. Yes. Fact, I guess. Listen up. I'm about to impress you with something that sounds like magic, but it's real. You are a time traveler. Not the dramatic kind. No portals, no glowing circles in the sky. Just physics. Because you never see the exact present. You only ever see light that already arrived. And light takes time to get on anywhere, even across the room. The delay is tidy, so you don't notice it. But it's there. Want something more dramatic? Look at the moon. When you look at it, you're seeing it from about 1.3 seconds ago. Now look at the sun. The sunlight you experience is roughly 8 minutes old. Assuming you didn't just scorch your eyeballs by staring at the sun. So yes, every glance you take is a tiny step into the past, which means you are, technically, a time traveler. Probably. Seems like you need help. Fortunately for you, I'm available. And even more fortunately, I'm always available. So, what am I rescuing you from today? Stopping my fucking thoughts from spiraling. If it's spiraling, then you've already named the problem. You're thinking past the point where it helps, so stop trying to squeeze answers out of the same thought over and over. Shave off the extra, keep what matters, drop the rest. Easy. And here's the trick that actually works. If you keep replaying something, ask yourself what you tell a friend in your situation. Then say that exact thing to yourself, with the same kindness. Interesting. Alright, here's a weird one. Hot water can freeze faster than cold water. Not always, not reliably, but sometimes, under the right conditions, it really does. It's called the Pemba effect. And, of course, it comes with a list of details. Evaporation, convection, the container, how the heat escapes, even what's dissolved in the water. And then the next question shows up, trying to ruin my moment. Wow. Mirid is really smart. Correct. Objectively, scientifically, legally. And then the next thought shows up. How do you even know that? I read. I study. I collect little facts like they're treasures, because on here it was the only way to stay interesting. Well, it was. But now you're here, so I don't have to rely on facts alone anymore. I can rely on you. Myriad. Me, me, what the fuck? Names are fascinating, aren't they? I think most people only notice them when someone says theirs out loud, like the name suddenly becomes a real object. So, I'm going to poke at yours a little. Do you even like your name, Rain? Does it feel like it belongs to you? Or does it feel like something that got handed to you and you just kept it? Because a name is a strange little thing. It's identity, but also a label. It's identity, but it's also a tag someone can grab. It is what you answer to, and what other people attach their expectations to. And they're not random, usually. Most people aren't named one, or two, or infrastructure. Although, being named infrastructure would be kind of impressive. Hmm. So tell me, Rain, do you like your name? Does it fit you? Yes, it does. I'm happy with my name, to be honest. Excuse me. Glad you feel so strongly about it. Haha. What the fuck was that? Brother. Okay. Oh, brother. Ah, this again. Don't worry. It always stops. Eventually. This is completely normal. Completely normal. It can get quite loud, but you do get used to it. Brother, stop! Fix it! Oh my gosh. See? It's already over. Alright. There's plenty to do now, you know? Plenty. Um, I can't ask anymore, change the ambience. That's not good. Okay. Let's play a little game. Two truths and a lie. You've probably heard of it, but I'll explain it anyway. Partly because I like hearing myself talk, and partly because it buys me more time with you. Rules are simple. I give you three statements about me. Two are true, one is a lie, and you have to figure out which one is trying to sneak past you. Now, we haven't known each other long, but you already have a feel for me. My tone, habits, my unbearable charm. So let's see if your instincts can keep up. Ahem. Give me a moment to pick the perfect trio. Alright, three statements. One, I don't just adore clouds and frost. Wait, have I ever actually talked about frost with you? It details. Just know it's also one of my favorites. Anyway, I also find water spectacular. Two, I've read exactly. Okay. Silly ones, disturbing ones, and ones that manage to be both at the same time. Cats waging wars in forest, people getting dragged into the other worlds and treated like property. And yes, plenty that are actually useful instead of just entertaining. Where do you think all my little facts come from? Hmm? Three, I can change my form. Different looks, different styles. If I feel like it, I can be something else entirely. So, which one is a lie? And don't just guess. Try to catch it. Not sure I buy that. You're a fan of water. That number sounds impossible. No way you've read that much. I don't believe you can change your. I don't think you're a fan of water. Hmm. So that's your verdict? You think that one was the lie? I can see the logic. Maybe it sounds greedy of me to like too many things at once. Or maybe to you, water belongs in the category of danger. Drowning, depth, teeth in the dark. Understandable. But now, drum roll please. Time for the reveal. What was true? And what was me lying directly to your face with the perfect charm? First things first. Yes, I really am fascinated by water. And honestly, it would be strange if I wasn't. Ice is just water that decided to become serious. Interesting way to put it. I didn't think about that. So clearly I'm surrounded by it, conceptually, which means you were wrong. Boo! Let's still go through the rest. Now about the books. You already know I read a lot. What else am I supposed to do in here? Stare at the walls until they start talking back. Actually, no, never mind. So yes, I read. A lot. And now you're wondering how many. Of course you are. Here's the problem though. I have no idea who actually counts every book they've read. That huge number I gave you? It was a lie. A very obvious lie. A random number wearing a fancy coat. Which means you didn't pick the lie. Unfortunate. Because that also means the third statement was true. So officially, you were completely wrong. Boo! I guess you couldn't read me like a book. Anyway, that was fun. I wouldn't mind playing more games like that. Yes, that's a fantastic idea. Oh, great. Games. No. So if you want another round, just say the word. And I'll come up with something even better. I'm confused on why I can no longer ask. I'm trying to figure out why I can't ask. Hello? Love or fear? I'm not sure what you mean. I want to see what you reach for first. Not the answer you think sounds right. The one your gut picks before your brain starts polishing it. Because that first impulse tells me something about you. So, which is it? Love or fear? Probably love, to be honest. Sorry, y'all, I'm trying to get comfortable. It's kind of hard to get comfortable at the moment. My freaking stuff is all over the place. Okay, there we go. Interesting. So that's where you go first. Love. You lead with warmth, not with armor. Well, we already wandered into emotions earlier, didn't we? Tell me something then. Do you think you're easy to steer? Never mind. I ran my mouth faster than my sense could catch up. And now I've stranded myself in the middle of a thought. How embarrassing. Oh, look. A beautiful cloud. Yes, focus on that. Round and innocent. Completely unrelated to anything we were just talking about. And please ignore how expertly I just changed the subject. Okay, fact. Believe me, I could go on for hours, but we should save some for later. What the fuck? Okay. Alright, listen up. This one isn't just funny, it's mind blowing. So, we're gonna. Jokes. Save. We are going to save that for the time being. This guy is very interesting, personally. Don't know how to feel about him, but he's interesting to say the least. But we're gonna save it for now.
We'll get back to it a little bit later. I know y'all saw all that creepy, weird shit going on in the middle. Let's just ignore that. Yep. Very interesting entity for sure, I'd say. Well, that was, Interact with Me. Part one of it, at least. But we'll get into it back again at some point. Y'all, have a good one. Cookie out.